1 second, just make sure the stream is all running fine. I don't know whether you want to get the stream running alongside while you're playing so you can see if I'm highlighting something, you can potentially see what I'm looking at.
Cool, I'm going to have it on my phone without volume.
Yeah, cool. Alright, I've got the stream up in front of me, so let me just get you into this. I'm going to manage party, send you an invite, so just give me 1 second while I do that.
Cool.
Yep.
Like little weird ideas that I had.
Yeah, I mean, there are some of the things that I particularly like, and I'll also go through those with you as well, because there are things that you don't see every day on other people's courses that you've included that are quite unique, that I particularly like, and things that I had going through my head at the time when I was playing that I sort of thought to myself, you know what? I've got to tell Matt this, I've got to tell Matt this, I've got to tell Matt this. And by the time I'd sort of thought about this over the series of, or the first 5 holes, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to have so much, I may as well just say to Matt, let's jump on a stream, we'll do it live, you get some feedback from me, you can tell me the inspiration why you did it that way, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I'm very happy to do it, and I'm excited to see what you think and play with you.
So it's BM final, isn't it?
BM final beta, but final will bring it up.
Yeah, cool. All right. So did you get my invitation to the party?
I haven't, but let me check if it's in my notifications. Yes, it's there. Cool.
Okay, cool. Hey Jeff, welcome to the stream, buddy. Let's just change course conditions. No, let's leave the course conditions. I found that you've set the course conditions quite... you've set the wind low, haven't you?
You can't set wind.
Oh, can't you? Okay.
Not that I've been able to find, but if someone knows how to in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated.
No, that's cool. So I've gone for white... white tees pin set 1, but I'll lock that in there, and you should now be able to. You should now have a notification that I've started a round.
Cool.
Hi Tom B,
yes,
welcome to the stream. To all those people that are watching live right now, we have a few people in here. Thank you very much for joining. Just to give you a little bit of context as to what Matt and I are doing in the stream tonight. Matt has created a course, and it is a fantastic course, and he threw it out there on the Facebook group page that he wanted people to play the course and give him some feedback as to, you know, what they thought about the course. I've already done it previously, and Matt's made some changes since then. So this is this the second version, Matt?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the second version, post some of the changes that Matt made after, you know, getting feedback, I would imagine, from myself and other people. And I've played it again earlier this afternoon, and I came up with a few things that I wanted to put together for Matt, and I thought that it would probably be better for me to jump on a live stream. Didn't necessarily need to be a live stream, but we thought we may as well make it into a live stream and talk through it whilst we're playing, because then I can say to Matt, you know, here we go, check out this is what I'm thinking of. And he can take as much of what I say and regard it or disregard it, and he's perfectly fine with that, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So it's also good I will give Matt some feedback on my overall opinions of the course, and he will tell us what his inspirations were for doing things in a certain way. So let's jump into this round. I'm going to ready up.
Cool.
Let's just see. Master Shake 210. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for joining the stream. Kidney, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back. And Steelbean, how you doing? He says, enjoy the beautiful course. I will be checking my mobile screen every now and then. So Steelbean's played the course as well. So
I played with him earlier today.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to mention is this course has a lot of rocks, a lot of sand, and a lot of water. And you'll see that from the outset. I think one of the things that I mentioned to Matt when I played it the first time round is that there is, when you're using rocks, the larger you make the rocks in order to create a rock formation, the bigger the rock becomes, the more detail you lose on the rock. So it's actually better to make a rock formation out of a lot of smaller rocks. And I think Matt actually employed a lot of that when he made some of the changes. So do you want to give some context to all of that, Matt?
Yeah, I haven't finished all the rock work, but I've started a lot of it. You'll still see some of the bigger ones, and those smaller rocks will be put on to make it look like, especially the second hole, you'll see what I've done, and most of the rocks will look like that when I'm finished. Okay,
I don't know whether you can see my screen right now, Matt, but I'm looking at a rock formation right now.
Yes.
So the only thing that I would say is that the thing that jumps out to me quite a lot on the course is that if you look at this rock formation here, you've used the same rock 4 times.
Yeah, in a row there. I can see that.
In a row. And the thing is that by using that, they've got exactly the same pattern. It looks a little bit too uniform. So it may be just rotating the rock a little bit or using a different rock in between. But that's one of the things I notice. It doesn't happen very often now, but like for example, those 2 rocks are exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah. It's and I know it's difficult to change stuff like that, but it may be something that you want to have a look at. But I'm getting into the sort of finer details of things now. The other thing that I noticed,
100%,
was back. Yeah, back here, like, there's little bits like that. You probably see it pop up on your screen. There's just, like, random rocks and random bushes in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know whether that's intentional or whether that is...
I'm only getting it now. That is not intentional. I will remove those on the right there. I can see it now. My screen's a bit delayed from live. But I will remove those on the right. I need to go through all of that and remove all those little rocks. I actually want nearly all of those gone if possible.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that. The other thing is that I'm loving the bridge work that you've done now. Just one small thing on these bridges here, you have to be a little bit careful when you get shadows. Because when you're creating these bridges, unless you get these bits right next to one another, you can actually see the gap in the bridge in the shadows. Now, it doesn't happen on this bridge, but I'll point it out on another bridge a little bit later in the round.
Cool. I will look at that.
And then one last thing before we tee off. Did you for the tee boxes?
Yes.
Okay. My recommendation would be, just to make the tee boxes look a little different, use the green texture.
Okay.
Because if you have a look, if I fly out here and you have a look at those tee boxes, there is very little differentiation between the actual tee box and the rough that sits around it. It may be worth just changing the tee box to the green texture.
Green.
As I say,
it would look more bright.
Feel free to take as much of this on board as you want and just disregard what you don't want. All right, I'm going to tee off so you can get on the course as well.
Cool.
Okay, I'm away.
And the course... The mountain in the background is what the course is named after in the distance there.
That's Bear Mountain, is it?
Yeah.
Great strike.
Thanks.
Are you still playing on the pros? I know you must be on the
Masters.
Masters.
Been on the Masters.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, there's that. So that's where I saw that little bush on the right-hand side when I was on my second shot here, because it sits right next to you on the right-hand side. I know you may be able to see it in the stream in a little while.
Yeah, I can see it on the right on your screen.
Yeah. I'm just going to have a quick look round the green here. I didn't think there was anything round the green here that was any really untoward. No, that's all good. I do like, the one thing that I do particularly like on this is the green work. I think you've done a cracking job on the greens, because there's no, even though there are some red areas, it makes you think about how you play your approach shot to the green, and I really do like that. But they don't actually sit around the hole, which is fantastic.
Cool, thanks. That's the thing I'm most worried about. It's the thing I find hardest, is getting the greens to be hard but fair.
Yeah, so
it took
Jeff,
me quite a lot of time.
Yeah, Jeff's saying you can put down heavy rough on that bush and it will disappear. I think you can also just use the remove objects feature, and it will you can highlight the object. You can actually draw a line over the object and it will just replace it with heavy rough anyway, so I think you should be good doing it that way. There are quite a few of those little sort of bushes and random rocks here and there, and they do look, in some places they don't look bad, but in other places they look a little bit out of place. And I suppose
I have noticed today earlier a few places that I have removed already actually on the, but I haven't changed it yet. I haven't released it yet, obviously. I've just changed it on the console. But I have to go through all of that and remove all of them. I must actually write down on hole 1 on the right side.
Crazy Canuck 1985 has some great videos. Yeah, I mentioned that in the stream the other day. He's got some really good tutorials. I think that's more for beginners. I think that's probably a little bit too simple for you, to be honest, Matt, because I think you're a little bit beyond that now. You're sort of at a what I would regard, intermediate to, you're definitely not beginner level when it comes to creating courses, that's for sure.
Thanks. Thank you. This is my first proper attempt. This course is based on a course that I released on the previous game, but there was no sand on that course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Or not nearly as much as there is now.
Yeah, you can see some random bushes in the background there on the side of the hill.
Yes, I did see that.
Right. Halved in pars. I think I birdied that first time round when I played it earlier. All right. Second one is the par 5. Yeah, so there is a couple of little bits on this one. Once again, nothing too major. If I just fly down to the opening shot. Yeah, so the first little bit, on the back of this bunker, you've got this really strange patch of ground. I don't know whether you can see that.
Let me just look quickly. It's still on the fly over my side. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yes.
You can see it there. You should be able to see it now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just fly around and show you. It just looks a little strange.
It was deliberate, but it doesn't look as good as I thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, it just, because you can't really see it from there, it just looks like there's a bit of the fairway missing. I mean, I quite like this effect that you've got going on here with this little bit of rough here. That's just beyond the other bunker. But once again, and this little bit of, I take it this bit of rough that you've got down here near this tree that sits in the fairway, that was intentional.
Yes, that was all intentional.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I would just say that bit on the back of that first bunker probably would be better if that wasn't there.
Cool.
But as I say, this is, I'm being properly over critical here. I mean, and as I say, feel free to disregard or take on board as much as you like. Oh, that just
I really appreciate it. I do. I ask for feedback because I really don't know like what people think, and I really do appreciate it when people let me know, because it's sometimes hard to gauge because you've worked on it so long, so you don't. It's not it from someone else's eyes sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. That's going to get a bounce right. Oh. That's going to be a tough one to get in there in 2 now. So somebody's asking, is this a fantasy or a recreation of a real course?
This is a fantasy course completely.
Is it inspired by another course, or is it completely?
Not really. There are some things that I've took from holes that I've played, but I can't say there's a specific course that inspired it.
What theme did you use for this? Is this the step theme?
This was what's this theme called now? I can't think of it now. The name.
That's all right.
It's not step though.
Okay, it's probably is it countryside?
No.
See, if you look at the stream here again, I'm going to highlight this where you've done the same thing with the rocks. You've got like 3 rocks there, in fact 4 rocks there that are identical. And then if I move over here, you've got a few rocks here, like 1, 2, 3 across the top there. In fact, there's 4 there that are identical. Now, as I say, you know, people aren't going to spend an awful lot of time looking at the rocks. So how much attention you pay to that is entirely up to you. Once again, fantastic green. I like the way that you've got the bunker running around the front of the green, so it makes it really, you know, makes you think a little bit about playing up towards this green. So really, really good bunker placement.
Thanks.
Yeah, somebody's just said just to work on and make a course is an achievement. So hats off to you. So yeah, I mean, and I'll echo that because there are a few people that can do it, and there are even fewer people that can do it exceptionally well. So you know, it's definitely a step in the right direction. You know, and especially because if this is your first course, then it is a massive achievement.
It's not exactly my first course, but it's my first course that I kind of actually deleted everything and started from scratch. So the other courses are it's the first course on this game, but on the last game I released one that was really not good. It was basically like how when it generates it, the fairways and stuff. Where this, I started with everything that fairway rough and everything myself.
Yeah, which is the Cathalos 1991 way, where you actually remove everything and start from scratch. Yeah. All right, let's. 48 feet. Just getting this within a few feet will be a mission. That's rolled on a few feet past. Wow, slow down. Nice putt. Very nice putt.
Thank you.
Good birdie.
Thanks.
Missed 9.
Unlucky. Well, you kind of showed what I was trying to do with that hole. Um, it's not necessarily always the best thing to be on the green in 2. If you're not close to the hole, it can be quite tough to get the birdie.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you tee off, and then I'll tell you the bits and pieces on this one.
Cool.
Sounded good.
Ah, the wind. Too little club.
Okay, so for me, this is where your strengths lie. Your par threes are exceptional. They are really, really good. And there's not an awful lot I can say about this hole, I'm sure you'll be pleased to know, other than in this bunker here, if you spin round, there's a strange little bit... Ooh, let me just... everything's back to front now. You can just see a couple of bits in that bunker. They're a little bit strange. That you might just want to neaten those up a little bit. Let me just zoom. Hang on, let me get back in.
I will say I haven't completely finished the rock work yet. Oh, which bunker are we looking at? The one on the other side of the other green?
No, it's sort of just in front of the tee box.
Yeah.
And there's
I haven't quite finished that yet.
Okay.
Especially the back of these rocks, I haven't finished. I am planning on finishing them all off, but I started fixing this when you said how, because this all looked really different. If you can remember, it was all big rocks.
Yeah.
And I think it's a big improvement, but I am planning on adding a few more smaller rocks on and clearing up all these small bushes that don't look like I put them on. I want to get rid of.
Yeah, so it's like in this bunker here, you'll see there's like a patch of dark there. You could probably want to get rid of that. There's another one down here, just there. You may want to get rid of that. A little bush there in the bunker, small things like that. But this is definitely, and I'll echo this throughout the course. This is definitely where your strengths lie. Your par threes are just really, really good.
Thank you. You haven't played the pin set 4 on this, I guess.
No, and
I'm guessing enjoy that one.
Yeah, I'm guessing the pins are really tough on that one.
This is probably the hardest par 3 on the course for the other pin sets. Good shot.
Cheers.
The other ones are on top of the hill, not on the bottom of the hill.
Hey Bart, welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Nicely on.
Thanks.
Get in.
Oh yes.
Nice. just grabbed it at the last minute.
Yeah.
Oh, missed another one.
Oh, unlucky.
Not playing as well as I did earlier. As I say, I shot a 61 earlier, so I was pretty pleased with that. Alright, so let's move on. Par 4. I think this is the one with the stream that runs. Is this the one with the stream? Yeah, it is the one with the stream.
Yes.
Yeah, so the only thing I'd say about the stream is what you might want to try and do is try and get the ground level in the stream the same throughout the stream, because what you do is when you see it from the overview or when you see it from above, you've got really deep areas and then really shallow areas, really deep areas, really shallow areas.
Yes, I
And
can see that.
I know it's really tough to do when you're actually building the course, because I know the water work is probably one of the hardest things to actually do in the game. And I know in Canuck's tutorials, he actually mentions that the water work is probably one of the hardest things. So I don't know whether it's something that you want to look at or whether that's a version 2 thing, but it was one of the few things on this hole. Let me just have a quick look. I think there was... Let me just have a quick look. Down the right-hand side, there was just a little bit in the rough here that was it was a strange colour, and I don't really know why. It's like a straight line of like a lighter colour.
Yes.
But as I say, it's not the end of the world, that bit there.
Yeah, I can see that. I should go over with the heavy brush again to make it green like the others.
But the the water, it's not that evident on that particular hole, but it is on another hole. I'll show you where it's really sort of different. You can actually see a lot of difference in the water. In fact, you can see it here. So you've got a shallow area there, then you've got a really deep bit, and then you've got another really shallow. You see what I mean? So you've got
right even by the green there.
Yeah, so even though the water flows all the way around there, there's no sort of defined stream all the same level. And I can appreciate the fact that it may be different levels, but it just looks a little strange.
Yeah.
Right, let's see if we can
all this rock work was added as well since the last.
Yeah, that rock work's really nice, really nice.
Get on.
It's going to bounce. Good. Oh, what a horrible bounce.
Unlucky. Oh, okay, stayed on.
Hey Tony, hey B9F. Hey David, how's it going?
Sit.
Yeah, you can see on your putt there's just a random little rock on the other side of that bunker.
Yes, on the right.
Yeah. It's just ones like that. They just look out of place.
Yeah, I have tried to do it, but I did it on a larger scale, so I obviously missed a few patches.
Yeah, I mean, it must be... I mean, as I say, you know, hats off again to you, but it must be so difficult to pick up. And I suppose what you got to do is you got to like play it, write stuff down, change it, play it, write stuff down, change it, and it must take ages. It really does.
Ooh.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it does take quite a lot of. That is why I asked for feedback, because you miss stuff like that sometimes, no matter how much you play it.
I suppose the difference is that, you know, you do get people that will give you feedback. I suppose the only thing is that the only other feedback you get, unless people actually tell you what their opinions are, is the star rating of the course. But then you're just getting, you know, you're just reliant on a load of anonymized data there, really. You don't know where that's come from.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted this course has taken a lot of time, so I do want the final version to be really good.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was really nice on to give the guys in there some context as well, is that on this particular hole, and I think this is where I spotted it the first time, when Matt actually built those arched bridges you see there. I think there's about 3 on this particular hole.
Yes.
They weren't connecting with the ground quite right. So Matt went back and went and changed all of those. So that's one of the changes he made. I don't know whether this is the hole where I saw that. Is it? Let's just have a quick look. No, this one's all good. Yeah, the bridges look really good now. Really, really good.
Thanks. This is one of my favorite holes on the course. It's a bit long for a par 5, but I like to have one par 5 that's hard.
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's not a hard hole. I think it just gives you some really good choices when you're playing into the green here, or when you're playing up to the green. This was the one thing on this hole. If you have a look down the left-hand side of this bunker,
yes,
you've actually got some fairway on the outside of this bunker where I don't think you would have fairway.
Yes.
Like here, you can see I'm moving down here. There's fairway all around here. And here, this is a really good example. See, you've got a really deep area in the water here.
Yeah, and then it's very shallow again. I must flatten that out.
All right, let's get this. So we should be able to reach this bit down here because we've got an 11-mile-an-hour wind here.
Good shot.
Cheers. I think the next hole is one of my favourites. Is the next one a par 3?
No, it's a par 4. I think I know which par 3 you're talking about.
There's a couple of par 3s that are just absolutely stunning, and that's why I think that par 3s are definitely your forte.
Thanks. My favourite is 17. That took a long time to do.
It's a nice drivable par 4 as well, which I quite liked. The one thing I will mention on hole number 9, I'll mention it again when we get there. Round the car park, all of your walls are floating.
Oh.
So you might want to check those out. They don't actually sit on the ground, and all the cars not all the cars, but some of the cars in the car park, half of the tyres are submerged below the surface. So you might want to have a look at that as well.
Cool.
As I say, I did look at a lot.
Yeah. I don't even know if most people I've played with know there's a car park there. But yes, on the last game it was sorted, and then when I transferred it over, because the original course, a few stuff started floating, and you had to change it. It's weird. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that. That fence that you've got behind the green there. I haven't looked up the entirety of that fence, but I would imagine there's probably some floating areas on that as well. But it might just mean that you need to raise or lower like on the left-hand side of where you are now. You can see that the fence post at the bottom is almost submerged halfway up.
Yes.
So you might just want to flatten the ground a little bit there just to get it down a bit.
Oh, very slow.
Yeah, I think, there you've got a floating fence post just behind the green there.
I saw it.
Get in. Ooh, unlucky. Oh, how many putts have I missed from inside 10 feet on tonight? Still level par. I haven't hit a single birdie tonight yet. Too busy jabbering. 6. Yeah, I'll wait for you to tee off. There's a couple of little bits on here. I tell you what, I'll just throw this out there while we're playing. I started playing in the Golf Club Association Society on the PC today as well. Man, it's hard on the PC. Jesus, it's so much. It's so much harder than it is on the PlayStation. The game, there's something about it. It is just so difficult. I mean, the guy that's leading through 2 rounds, I think they're playing Oakmont, is like 12 under par. And I'm second on like 6 under par through 2 rounds. It's so difficult. So difficult. All right, this first shot here. I like this bridge you've got going on here. I just think that you could probably do with cutting the bushes down a little. Maybe a bush every 3rd bush or something like that. It just is... if towards the end on the left-hand side where you've got like the purple ones are, you know, in between.
Broken up a bit more.
Yeah, that looks great. But the first bit, it just looks a little bit too uniform planting.
Yes.
But as I say, that's me being exceptionally overcritical. All right, let's get this drive down there. Ooh, that's not good. I just hit it very slow. I need a Wilson bounce if I've ever seen one.
That should kick left.
Did you use a PC controller? I used an Xbox 360 controller, believe it or not, on the PC. All right, let's have a look here. Yeah, random bush to the left of the green there.
Left.
But I think you're, yeah, that bit there on the bunker just looks a little bit strange. You might want to either join that up or open that out.
Okay, so make that gap all sand if I'm going to keep that ground in the middle.
Yeah, if you're going to keep that, then don't have that pointy section there. Round that off and round it off on the other side and just make it all sand, or either or just connect it up so it's not all sand. It's sort of like it's halfway between the two at the moment.
Yeah.
That's a better strike after hitting a very slow. That should be good, actually. That should be very good. Oh, yes, I'll take that. That might be a birdie. Did you get a slow on that?
No. Fast. Perfect. Okay.
I think I'd rather have my putt right now.
Me too.
It's quite weird that you're from South Africa, because I think this landscape on this course is very, very South African. You know, it does remind me a bit of the South African felt. Only you and I will know what that means.
It wasn't supposed to be based here, but it does. There are parts of it that remind me of parts of South Africa.
Alright, let's see what we got here. I don't think there was anything here that was... Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, a couple of little random rocks on the right-hand side here and random bushes. Yeah, this bit was a little bit strange. It's sort of, you've got your rough and then it just sort of dies here on the as it goes into the bunker instead of going round the edge of the bunker, because it sort of starts again over here, which was was that intentional?
No, it wasn't.
So I don't know whether that's something you wanted to have a look at, but I do like this hole, because I tell you why I like this hole. This is a massive, what I call, risk reward hole.
Yes.
If you go for the green and you minimally get it wrong, you're in trouble, right or left. And I really like that, and I like the fact that the green is shallow as well. So it's a really, really good risk-reward shot.
Yeah, and the shot from the fairway on the right, I know nobody really uses it, is not bad. I can tell you that. I've practiced it a few times.
Yeah, I mean, you will find it's okay for you and I playing on the Masters, but anybody that's playing on the pros or the beginners will be using that fairway a lot.
That's a brilliant shot. If it stops, yep, brilliant shot.
Cheers. Yeah, it's good. That fairway is good on the right-hand side, especially for those, as I say, beginners and pros, because what it does is it opens that green up. So instead of playing across the green like you and I are when we're going straight in, when you're playing down the right-hand side, you're playing down the length of the green as opposed to playing across it.
That was on purpose.
Yeah, fantastic. Great. Well thought out hole. I really like this hole. This is a really good technical golf hole. I mean, obviously you and I are making it look quite pedestrian right now, but it is...
Maybe not so
much.
I hit perfect as well. That fairway is deliberately not flat in front of the green.
Yeah, and that's really good. I mean, I did notice that there were probably some greens that you could do with a little bit of a false front on them, like this one has got a false front on it. Whereas there are some other ones where you can roll the ball up onto the green, which is really, really nice. So there's a good mixture of the two. Oh, that's a nice flop shot there.
Thanks.
So the only thing that I would point out around the green here is that you've got those sort of bulrushes on the left-hand side. They seem very big. So I don't know whether you want to tone those down a little bit. They just seem abnormally big in relation to the size of the trees.
I was trying to recreate what do you call that stuff in water?
Bulrushes.
Reeds, but it didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work out as well as I wanted it to.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Oh, you're gonna get a birdie, but that should have been an eagle.
Yeah, it should have been an eagle. You're right. Yeah, they're just too big, those bushes. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I think this is the par 3 that I was talking about. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Cracking golf hole. Really, really nice.
Thank you.
See, your bulrushes work really well in that pond. Maybe, if I'm being sort of overly critical, there may be a little too many. But size-wise, they're absolutely perfect. With the water lilies in there as well. You could probably cut those down by 25% and it would still look great. I like the little planting bit you've got on the left-hand side there. I think that's really good. And I love the way that pin is guarded by the tree on the left-hand side and the bunker in the front, and then you've got the really tight green area where I would imagine on the right-hand side you are going to put a pin there on the right-hand side. So it's going to be...
The pin set 3 is on the right.
Yeah.
Pin set 2 is in the middle by the slope.
Yeah.
On the green.
Yeah.
And pin set 4 is on the corner in front of pin set 1.
So okay. So that's in play.
Problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fabulous hole. This was the one that really jumped out to me the first time I played it, and even more so when I played it today as well. I think it really is a cracking golf hole.
I don't know if anyone will notice that, but there is a house in the background on the top of the mountain.
I didn't notice it, I've got to see.
Yeah.
I'll have a look now. I can't see it. Behind the tee.
You'll see it on if you follow my ball in the air, you'll see it.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Oh, I see it, yeah. I see it up there. Nice shot.
Thanks. That was just a little something. I was going to do more, but it just didn't feel right. But I just left that one that I did do in.
Oh, get in.
Good putt.
Oh, you're kidding me. How many of those have I missed tonight?
You've been robbed.
Unbelievable. Turn. Wow, that didn't turn. You probably hit that a little too hard, didn't you?
Yes, but I think I also overread it a bit.
Alright, we are on to the final hole on the front nine. So yeah, this is the one with the car park, so you'll see it now. There's probably a little bit of work to do there.
Yes.
The
rock work on the right is not finished yet. It's
the
just
work
barely
in the
started.
bunker. In the bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
I won't comment on that then. What did I spot on here? Yeah, this one was just literally the car park and that wall. You can see it now from the angle that I'm looking at it at.
Yes.
If I you see the wall floating in the air.
Yeah.
And you see that what looks like a VW Golf. It looks like it's melted into the ground.
Hot day.
Yeah. All right, let's get this hole underway.
There's another hole where I try to give options off the tee.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, the one thing that I can't remember whose course it was, but and I thought was quite nice was that they had the two options on different levels. So there was like a high route and a low route.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You could probably do something on this. Lower that left hand side a little bit, just to give you options, because then it gives you a difference in elevation when you're playing into the green.
Yes.
Yeah, you would never go. Yeah, just looking at that when you landed there, the edge of that bunker, just behind where you're standing right now, the edge of that bunker, the rough needs to be just tidied up a little bit. It's a bit
cool.
Bit wobbly.
Do that whole 9 rough.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just writing that down.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
It's out of bounds past the plants.
I should hope so. You're in the clubhouse then.
Yeah, and the first tee box is there as well. Or
Was that all wind that did that?
yeah, a little. It was just outside the area, but it was straight line. That's a good shot. Didn't come back as much as I thought it would.
No, wind took some of the pace off of it as well, yeah. That's a great putt. Slow down, slow down. No, great putt.
Thanks. Get in.
Oh, it's another one. Oh, look how far that's rolled as well.
Not easy coming back.
Wow.
Unlucky.
That rolled 10 feet past.
Nice putt.
Cheers. Nice, well in. Alright, front nine done. Right.
Pop into the clubhouse quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was quite weird because when I zoomed out, yes, all I could see were these bushes in front of me here, and I couldn't see where you'd actually created the path to go through the bushes until I zoomed out a little more and I see that it goes off to the right. I don't know whether you want to make the path straight through there. It just seems a little strange that it goes off to the right, but as I say, that's just me. Once more, you've got this light bit of rough on the left-hand side, and there's another bit further down as well.
Yeah,
much like I think it was hole number 4 or 5. You had that, and also the rough extends from the bunker here, and it extends to this point. There's like a point in the rough that goes out there. So,
yeah, where that could be fairway.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Solid drive.
Done.
I think this is the hardest hole on the course. It's not too bad with pin set 1, but pin set 2 and 4 can be quite tough.
That's good that you know you've made the pin sets really different, and I think that's when you're building a course, you have to take those different pin sets into consideration, because you know, if you create a green that is accessible irrespective of where you put the pin, then it doesn't become more challenging for different rounds if you're using the different pin sets. So it's quite good that you've actually done that.
Yeah, pin set 2 is right at the back in that little corner. That little like.
Oh wow! Triangle. Yeah. Well, that was nice. Good shot. That was the thing on this one. Down at the green, you've got a rock behind the green. But when you get on the green, it just looks like a really acute triangle. You know, it's really sharp, and it just looks a little weird. I don't know whether you want to have a look at that.
My plan is to do the rock work like I've done on the other holes with the smaller rocks on top of that rock in the background.
Cool.
So you'll actually see the rock when you play the shot clearer.
Yeah.
That's a good shot. And pin set 4 is on the left of this pin set 1 on the top of that slope, which can be quite tricky.
Yeah, you might want to flatten out that path that's coming down there, if that's a path on the. If you look beyond where you are now, you see it's a bit wavy,
steep.
Yeah,
and, yeah.
Get in.
Oh.
Let's see if I can actually get one of these now. Yay!
Nice birdie.
I don't think I'm going to be shooting anything like the 11 under I did earlier, not unless I get a couple of eagles on the back nine. Alright.
I think the back nine is a bit harder.
Yeah, I think I shot 7 under on the front and 4 under on the back earlier. Alright, let's have a quick look at this one, see if there's anything that sort of jumped out at me. Couple of those random bushes, but I think you're going to go through and change all those. Yeah. Are you doing some more rock work and bush stuff on this one?
I wasn't planning on doing it.
Okay, there's a little bit in the sand just on the right hand side. Probably more so on the next hole. You can probably see it in my stream now. That you might want to just have a look at. And then that line just looks a little bit too straight. Those bushes there. Don't know whether you want to break it up or just make it a little bit more. Just looks a little too straight, but just make it a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Natural.
Yeah. This was supposed to look natural and not like a man-made bunker.
Oh, Jesus. That's a very slow. Has it got the legs?
In the bush.
Oh, no, that's going to be ugly. Thank God it's a par 5. That's the only get out of jail free card I've got here.
There's water that isn't in play when you play this hole properly, but it can be in play from where you've put it now.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah. 82 to 91. I might just get this out in the fairway. Yeah, I'm just going to play smart.
Yep.
I take it you're going to go for the green.
Yes, I am.
Sounded good.
Just a little bit too much wind.
Yep, very nice. Alright, let's have a quick look.
I am also going to split this fairway to help the pro players a bit. The fairway will split towards the right bunker and be quite flat. So if you go from in line with the bridge, directly in line with the bridge, the fairway will extend towards the bunker.
All right.
But the middle part of the rough will stay rough.
Okay.
So it'll split the fairway towards that bunker, so people can lay up in, and it'll be quite flat if you choose to lay up there.
Yeah, in your water again, you've got those differing levels, so you've got deep sections and shallow sections again.
Yes.
You might. The other thing that you might want to consider doing in your fairway bunkers, you might want to put some sort of ridged backs to them. So in other words, they're more angular instead of being flat. So in other words, you have like a raised back to the bunker. So in other words, it makes it, if you end up in there, it makes it tougher to get out of the bunker. Yes.
So like the right side, or like the right and towards the front, will be higher than the lower part, like the front part of it.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. That looks good in the air.
It's a better one than the last one, that's for sure. Well, the first one. It's going to be a tough... Ooh. I was going to say it's going to be a tough birdie chance, but that's almost a non-existent birdie chance now.
23, should be the right club.
Nice. Cheeky little flop shot.
Yep. I like the flop shot in this game.
That was terrible. It was terrible. I hit a very slow on that. Jeez. I barely actually got the... it was nowhere near the blue mark in the tempo. This is gonna be a bogey on a par 5. That's what happens when you end up in the bunker.
Unlucky.
You got that for birdie, haven't you?
Oh, I missed it.
There's quite a heavy slope around that flag. You might want to consider flattening that a little, because I saw my ball dived quite drastically towards the left at the end there.
Yeah.
That one of all the greens, that one might need a little bit of flattening.
Yes, it was the one green I was a bit worried about, but I don't want to make it too easy, which is the hard thing about it, because it's a par 5, but I do think it needs to be flattened a bit.
Just a little bit. I mean, because that putt that you had was only, what, 4 or 5 feet, but it just went straight left. Nice drive.
Thanks.
Oh, is it going to kick to the right? Good. Nice shot.
Thank you.
Where's that one? There's one hole where there's something particular I wanted to show you, but I'm sure it's not. No, it's not this one. Oh, you're joking.
Stay.
Wow.
Okay, that's okay.
That's just nuts. Alright, let's have a look at this one. No, there wasn't one. I actually quite like this one because there wasn't a lot of... I mean, as with the rest of the course, you know, there's not a lot of fussiness on this course. I said that to you before. You know, it's quite simple. But you may want to add some more depth to that bunker, some more character to that bunker on the front of it, front of the green. You know, just make it a little bit deeper or something.
Yeah, like a proper severe bunker.
Yeah, because you've only got that one hazard around this green. You might want to just capitalise on that a little bit.
Yeah.
But apart from that, this is a really nice golf hole. I like this one.
You will see how much shorter my shot is than yours as well, which is why that gap is so narrow on the left.
I think what makes this hole tough is the fact that it's, you know, you're having to use a 5-iron, so you're coming in with a longish iron. That's what makes this one tougher.
It's not as bad when it's on the right side of the green, but when the pin's on the left side of the green, you can have like 20 meters less than me on the right side of the fairway to where I am. But for this pin, it doesn't affect it as much.
Nice strike. It's on a good line. Yeah, it's great shot.
Thanks.
All right. Nice to get one of these long ones in.
Get in.
Yay! Gets one eventually. It was fairly straight, mind.
That is something I also try to do. Because of the length of this hole, I try to make the green a bit easier than the previous hole's green. I know the previous hole's green is probably a bit too tough. But the shorter the par 4, usually the harder the green is on my courses.
Yeah.
On my course.
Cheers, Jeff. Jeff's saying nice putt. I've gone birdie, bogey, birdie. Here we go. Another cracking par 3.
Thanks.
Yeah, really, really nice par 3. The only tiny little criticism that I had on this hole was the planting that you've got that flanks the path on the right-hand side. The left-hand side's fine. On the right-hand side, it looks a little too uniform.
Yes, I can see what you mean.
Next to the tee box,
like
it looks great. Yeah, on the left, it looks great, but on the right, it just looks a little bit too uniform. You might want to sort of scatter those into clumps or something a little bit. But the rest of this hole, another beautiful par 3. Really, really great par 3. This is why I say your forte is definitely the par 3s. They are fantastic.
Thank you. This hole is quite tough with pin set 4 because it's on that top shelf in the left corner there.
I'm glad I didn't choose pin set 4 from what you've been saying.
I basically go pin set 1 is the easiest, pin set 3 is the second easiest, pin set 2 is the third, and then pin set 4 is the hardest. But on pin set 4, I do give 2 holes where on a par 5 and a par 4 where it's the easiest pin to encourage eagles in the last round. But the majority of the course is the hardest pin set.
You know what the funny thing is, though, is that I probably think the same way as you, although I would probably make pin set 3 the hardest because I think the Saturday should be the hardest day. However, if you think about in the context of this game, how many times pin set 4 will probably get used, you're probably better off making pin set 1 easiest and pin set 2 hardest, because most people, if they are going to be using the course in a society event, will probably only use it with 2 rounds in mind.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to use it as a major and then or an event that's got 4 rounds.
Yeah. But that is why pin set 2 is quite hard as well. And for traditional tournaments, pin set 2 is the cut day. So I like it to be a little bit of a test.
Yeah.
I think, let's see this. Let's try this.
Wow, that's got to be a hell of a swing on that one. Oh, that's a great putt. A little bit more welly and that would have gone. It's got a bit of swing, but it's not as much as what you had on yours, I don't think. No, I didn't allow enough.
Unlucky.
Had the porridge, but just didn't have the line.
The thing I also try to do, because I play golf in real life, is make the tee boxes as if they would where they would be, so the walks aren't too long between my holes.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly, you should be able to see the tees alongside the greens when you're looking from the overheads.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one where I did notice, if you have a look at your water here,
Yes.
you see the bit on the right hand side, it's really shallow here, and then you've also got this line down the middle of the water here where the depth is different.
Yes.
So you may that, as I say, I'm probably being overcritical, but if you want to get it absolutely spot on, it's just those leveling out those depths, and I think you can just use the flatten tool just to get the levels the same, and just go down the length of the water and just make it all the same depth, and you should be good. It shouldn't be. I don't think you'll need any more skills than what you've got in order to do that little tweak.
Yeah, I can do. I do really like these tee boxes though. I just saw like there were little circles in the water when I sculpted it.
Yeah.
When I looked, and I was like, this can be a tee box. And then I just widened the fairway for the 3-wood, but I made it narrow for the drive. Well, that's what I was trying to do anyway.
Yeah, I like the little circle tee boxes. I think they're great, and I like the fact that you've really split the tees out as well. So not only gone sort of like one in front of each other. You can have one that is like the ladies' tee, or the closest tee that is playing the hole from a completely different angle.
Yes.
I like that. I like it when people take that into consideration, because that's what a real golf course is like. I mean, you very seldom have all the markers on the same tee box, and they're very seldom all in an exact straight line right in front of one another. I mean, the only time that you tend to have them all on the same tee box most of the time is on a par 3. But when you're talking about long par 4s and par 5s, the tee boxes are scattered out not only lengthways but also laterally as well, which is good to see that you've actually employed that on this course. Oh, was that wind or did you pull that?
This is wind. That was wind and a bit of fast, but it was a straight line.
All right, let's have a look at this one.
That the bushes on the left will extend all the way along that bridge.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, I mean, it's really evident there if you look at the water and the shot that I've got in front of me now, is that you've got that really, really deep area, and then the rest of it is quite shallow.
Yes. I might make it shallower than actually, so that you have that like little sand underneath the water. But I'll see how it goes. I'm going to have to look at that.
Get up.
It's a good shot. Yeah, I think you have the better putt as well. Not an easy putt.
Right, let's see if we can... No, that is not an easy putt at all. I'm glad it's uphill though.
Yeah.
Oof, that swung a lot.
It's hole 10 that you said the green needs a bit of flattening, right? No, hole 11.
11, yeah, it wasn't the first one after the turn. Oh, great putt. Great putt.
Thanks.
That's a ram that one home. All right, we're coming into the last stretch now. 4 holes to go.
Yes.
Is this the hole? There's one hole that's got a patch of rough in the fairway, and it just needs to be filled in, and I can't remember which one it is. I'll definitely know it when I see it. It might even be this one. I'll have a look when I get on the tee.
This is the hole that kind of started the sand and rock inspiration, to be honest. So I had finished basically the whole course.
This is the drivable. This is a drivable par 4. Yeah, this is. I remember.
Yes.
I remember this one. Oh, it needs a bounce to the left.
It's not going to get it. That's not a nice place to be either.
Let me see if it's this hole. Yes, it is this hole. All right. If you look on your screen.
Yes.
That there.
Yep.
You should be able to see it in a minute. It might take a while just for you to catch up.
Yeah, I can see it. It's like a patch that doesn't have fairway or any grass.
It's just like a random patch of rough. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And you've got another sort of lighter area there that you might want to have a look at. Just there.
Yes, on the green there, on the darker green.
It's not the end of the world, but as I say, if you're going round and you're making changes, you might want to look at that. All right.
How's that going? Good shot. That'll catch the slope as well and come back.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's going to give me a good eagle putt. That is a great risk reward shot again. You know, if you want to take it on, you've got, you know, it's guarded by that bunker on the left. You've got the rough on the right, so you're going to get penalised if you don't get it straight. You have to thread the needle to get it through there. It's much like that one on the front nine where it's a great risk reward shot.
Yeah, the pin 4 is once again pretty hard. It's in that corner there, and pin 2 is on the top of the slope.
Yeah, you see, with a par 4, if you're tucking the pin in the far left of the green, if you're looking at it from the tee, and you've got that bunker and you've got no green to play with, you would probably not attack the green in that case. You'd probably lay up, because you could put yourself in such a bad position that you'll end up more likely taking a par or potentially even a bogey. So
3 of the days it is very drivable, but pin set 4 is better to lay up. But I think that's okay for a short par 4 to have most of the rounds.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it's risk reward, and then one day where it's not. It still is risk reward if you want to put it on the green and have a putt, but it's not advisable to go right at the flagstick.
All right, this is the last of the par 5s. Let's have a look at this one. You see that I think that bit there, I'll show you when I get back on the tee box, is that if I zoom out here and come all the way back to the tee, if you look at that from above now, it's very difficult to actually see the definition of the tee boxes. And I think if you did change the texture of the tee, that would make those tee boxes pop a little bit more.
Yeah, make it greener like the greens.
Yeah. Have you
darker green.
Have you only got 2 pin sets on this hole?
No.
Where's the other 2 then?
Oh, this one is one.
Oh, there's 2 on there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look further down.
Like I said, there's a few holes where they're close, but then there's a few holes where red and green have a big advantage.
Yeah. All right. So this one just needs a little bit of tidying up in the bunker work here. You've got some dark patches. You can see there's a dark patch down the side of that bridge. There's a couple of dark patches in this one here. your random rocks, which we've spoken about already. There's another dark patch which is quite oval there that you might want to have a look at. And then you've got your different depths in the water again. I think you're probably going to have to look at your water from an aerial view and go around the whole course through the water. And
just flatten, make it all one level.
Yeah. Alright, I've hit a slope.
This is probably the only hole in the course where I force driver out your hand unless you have a tailwind.
Yeah. That's the only way that you're going to get over that water is by lofting it up and having a 10, 12 mile an hour wind behind you.
Yeah. This green is the green I changed the most since the last release as well.
Oh,
that's very slow.
Very slow. That is going to be an ugly shot from there. Damn, that's going to be tough. I have a feeling you're going to be laying up from here. Even a punch shot through there is going to be tough. Ooh. Oh, he's changing his mind. Look at him. So Tom B says, I'm wary of doing too much practice, as I'm sure all the mechanics are going to change next week. Yeah, I'm not sure they will, Tom. I think you can change things like trajectories and spin dynamics without changing the mechanics of the game. But yeah, as I say, only time will tell it out next week, or we'll find out when they are going to do it. Might not be next week. This was the hole where the bridge, the bridge has got some. You see what I'm? This is the bit that I'm in. If you have a look at the bridge here, look at the shadow.
Yes, there's little gaps.
So you've got gaps, and there's that one's not quite level there. And then at the end of the bridge, you've got a random plant sticking out the ground.
Yeah.
So you might want to have a look at that one. As I say, how many people will look over there, I don't know. But, it depends on, in your own mind, how you want your course to look.
Yeah, I am thinking of doing what I've done on the other bridge at 14.
All right. What, putting plants down the
plants
side?
In front, yeah. But, yeah, it's...
So Rich is saying, but that's natural. Yeah, in some cases it is natural. It doesn't look that natural, Rich. I get what you're saying, and he's asking me if I'm nitpicking. I have said that all the way along. I am being overly critical here, and Matt is going to take some of this with a massive, massive pinch of salt. So, he can employ as much of this or as little of this as he likes. I won't take any offence, and I'm sure he's not taking any offence by me actually saying this stuff. So,
no, not at all. It's actually exactly what I asked for and wanted when I posted in the group. Because it's just the small things that can make a course from very good to very good or okay to good. Just the little things can...
yeah, I mean, for me, that's the thing is, if you look at people like... the creators or the designers that most people hold in high regard are people like Arctic Fury. Who's some of the other ones? Crazy Canuck. The CLV... who's the other guy? Neuter. What's his name? He was in the stream the other day. I can't remember what his name is. I think the three words that I would say that separate good designers from great designers, the three words are attention to detail. And it's that attention to detail that makes a course next level. Get in.
Brilliant putt.
Cheers.
I have tried to do that, but it is, like I said, it's not. It is one of my. It is basically my first proper course.
Artful Dodger. That's it. Thank you, David. Yeah. I mean, and for me, it's so much. I'm going to take this with what I'm saying is that creating a fictitious course is by far and away an easier task than creating an RCR, because an RCR you are judged based on the real course. Here you are judged based on how you built your own course. An RCR is, people crucify you if you don't get it right. Whereas, people are looking at the elements of this build. I mean, I think, once again, I can't say anything about this hole. It's a par 3. It's brilliant. You've done a cracking job. Right. The only thing that I would suggest you do, and this is again, I've mentioned this before, that bunker on the left-hand side, make it really deep and raise the edges that sit at the back of the bunker. So as you're standing on the green, make the edge around the back of the bunker ridged, and then make the depth of the bunker a lot deeper.
Yeah.
So it makes it, if you get in that bunker shot really tough.
I have changed something I have made the rocks and some of the bush out of bounds now, because once you're in there, you can't really play. So that was kind of what I had to do. So I've made out of bounds around the green, basically. I also think my logic was for safety reasons.
Yeah. Don't want anybody losing an eye.
Yeah.
I do like what you've done in the front of that green. I think probably what would have been nice is if it was a rock face with some bushes in the rock face. But I suppose you've just made it all bushes, because you've got sort of rocks flanking it left and right. It may have been good to have the rock face all the way along, and then maybe have some bushes inside the rocks. But as I say, it does look good as it is. So that's just entirely up to you.
This is my favorite hole.
Yeah, I love this hole. I mean, especially with the big mountain in the background as well.
It's what the course is named after.
It's another par 3. You really do excel on the par 3s.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Jeff's saying, I like the criticism Lee and Phil gave me. I can only get better. And that's... The thing is that there's far too few designers out there, or people that are willing to invest the time in trying to create a course. So there's no way that our intentions are to scare people off. What we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage you guys to do more of the same, because it really is great. And without the creators, we wouldn't be able to play. So, we'd be stuck with the same old 8 or 10 courses that were supplied out of the box. And can you imagine how goddamn boring that would be?
Yeah, the game... That's why I actually gave it a go, because I think once you've tried to build a course, you start to appreciate how good those other designers are.
For sure. And I'm just about to start, and that's why I switched on the PC today. I wanted to have a look at the designer, but I want to do it on the PC because I think it's easier on the PC than it is on the PlayStation. Yeah. So I'm going to be trying to design a course on the PC, and I'm going to try and do a better job of the course than what I did on TGC2. So, fingers crossed I can create something that's half decent, but only time will tell. Beautiful golf hole.
Giving it a play.
Yeah, beautiful golf hole, this one. I'm intrigued as to know what was the inspiration around the planting near the green.
the bushwork, like up the hill.
No, the bit on the left-hand side is like a design.
I think it was supposed to spell originally TGC, the
Ah,
golf
right.
club,
Yeah.
but it ended up just being a T.
All right. What can I say about this one? Okay, down the right-hand side, it's quite weird because around your bunker work on this one, down the right-hand side, you've got a really strange bit of rough down here. Where it's almost like a 90-degree angle, and then there's this bit of grass that sticks out into the bunker. That probably just needs some looking at. And then just down here, your rough around the bunkers is a little bit inconsistent down here.
Around the little edge there, yeah.
Yeah, and then also on this side as well. Down here. But as I say, I mean, if you look at this bit over here, you've got the same problem down here. But I know you've got your path down there. But it's weird because you've got rough around the bunker there, but then you've got no rough here. So it's just a little bit. I mean, in this bit here, let's just pull this back. You've got this section just here. I can't actually pull it back to show you. But if you look from the top, you've got like a little loop on the fairway there of rough.
Oh. Yeah. I try to make like what do you call it? The light rough.
All right.
But I wanted the rock to stick out, so I didn't want it to all be light rough. So that's what I was trying to do there. And that little bit on the right, I think I'm either going to make it bunker or I'm going to make it light rough the whole way.
Yeah. This is a great closing hole, especially with that clubhouse in the background that's sort of elevated. You can see it from the tee box. It's a really, really good closing hole.
Thanks. The green is, I think it's got 3 tiers, like all the way up to the 4th day pin.
You know what I'd love to see in this game, and I don't know whether they could ever do it. I would love to be able to see other players on the course. I know when you're playing like stroke simultaneous, you can see somebody's ball flying, but it would be great to be able to see other people's sort of avatars standing on tee boxes and in the fairways and stuff like that.
It would be cool. I would like that. Would be.
It just
would be nice to see someone teeing off on hole 1 now.
Yeah, because the thing is that hole 1 is just at the top of the hill over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just to the left of the clubhouse.
Next to it on the left.
Yeah. I mean, and that would be fantastic.
When I first opened this course, I thought that I was going to do a massive fairway that was going to be shared between these 2 holes. That was always the plan. And then with the bunkers, I think you can see the separation, and it looks a lot better with that separation.
Yeah, I like the step work that you've done down the left-hand side there as well. That's really cool.
Thanks.
With the hedges and stuff. That's really, really good.
It is hiding some flaws on the steps, but it was very difficult to do.
Right, this has got to get a wriggle on. Get up.
That should be good.
I was going to say it should check. Yeah.
Good shot.
Cheers. Yeah, you definitely get penalised if you go long there.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Thanks. Good birdie to finish.
Yeah, 7 under, not as good as the 11 under from earlier today, but it's always different when you're in the middle of a live stream and you're chatting away.
Yeah, especially because we were like analysing the course, so sometimes you forget.
Yeah, you forget to play for a
on the
start.
shot.
Yeah. Well, I hope that was helpful, Matt. I mean, as I say, don't take. I'm not being critical. I'm not picking fault. I'm just saying it is a fantastic course, and most of it is little they're little details. It's not, there's nothing major in there. It's just all little details more than anything else. So I hope you don't take offence to any of it, because none of it was. There was no offence intended. It is hopefully there just as constructive criticism.
No, not at all. I really do appreciate you taking your time to do this with me, and it helped a lot. Thank you.
Cool, and I hope everybody in the stream enjoyed it. Go out there and play this course. I mean, this is. I'm sure Matt will say. I mean, this is the final beta. I'm sure Matt's going to be making some more changes and then releasing the course. But go out there and try it. You'll see the name of the course on the screen there. As it stands right now, currently what Matt and I just finished playing. By all means, go and try it. BM Final Beta. It stands for Bear Mountain. But I know Matt's in the middle of studying for exams and whatnot, so I'm not sure how much time he's going to get playing or actually working in the creator, but I'm sure we'll hear via the Facebook group page when the course actually officially gets released. But thank you for everybody that joined in the stream. Thank you for everybody that joined in the chat. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've yet to hit that like button, please feel free to do so. If you'd like to leave some comments on the YouTube channel after the fact, then please do so as well. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you'd like to do that, then hit the subscribe button. But Matt, thanks very much, buddy. I know it's Saturday night.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you. Cheers, Tim, and cheers to everyone.
All right. See you later, fella. Take care. Bye.